Just looking at this rock, there's actually, we just keep looking around it, so it depends on how long you want to take to look at it. But you see one petroglyph over here. There's another petroglyph over here. There's one
like the sun.
Up here, the sun. Hi everyone, welcome to Tigner Adventures. Today we are in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we're going to check out the Petroglyphs National Monument up here behind us. It's just right here in Albuquerque, right on the city limits. This is actually maintained by the national park. It's a national monument, and by the city of Albuquerque. So we're going to go up and just check out some petroglyphs today and see if we can make out what certain things are. It's always in the eye of the beholder, right?
We're going to read them, I guess.
We're going to go read the petroglyphs. So this national monument, the visitor center, is just right here on the side of the mountain, which is the side of the valley. This is the west side. This is the visitor center. That building right there has some flyers in it. And then they have this little display area over here to the side where they actually have a TV. And it's kind of hard to see, but you can watch a video. It is not one that's online, so it's different. It talks all about Petroglyph National Monument. All right, we've got a small store here.
That's a big pizza oven.
So this is a Spanish oven right here. The horno. Is that how it's pronounced? No, it says horno. Spanish for oven, pronounced horno.
You can make some really big pizzas in there.
I guess. So if you look at the map here, the Petroglyph National Monument is actually kind of strung out a little bit. The far north is one hiking area. That's called the Padre Marcadas Canyon. That's got, they say 400 petroglyphs, but that's just what you're going to hike around on the trail and see. But they have thousands and thousands of petroglyphs in that area too. All of them have thousands, but the actual hike itself only shows a few hundred. So we are at the visitor center, so the information center, and it has the one that's just south of us is the Rinconada Canyon. It has 300 petroglyphs, and then the Boca Negra Canyon, just north a little bit, they have 100 petroglyphs there. So if you look on, the actual literature they give you talks about each canyon. So the Boca Negra is a 5-minute to 1 hour walk, where the Rinconada Canyon is 1.5 to 2 hours hike, and it actually is made of 2.2 miles. But the biggest one of all is actually the Piedros Marcadas Canyon. That's the one that's 1.8 to 2.8 miles. So 3 major hikes where you can actually see all the petroglyphs.
If you have time just for one, do this.
Yeah, the Ranger was saying if you have the time, then definitely do the how do you say it again? I'm not saying these very good probably anyway. So Piedros Marcadas Canyon. So if you have time. We are at the Boca Negra Canyon petroglyphs. And so we're just kind of starting the little walk here. It's kind of interesting at the entrance. You do have to pay a parking fee. They say they accept the other passes, but there's no place on the place to, the envelope just says pay the $1 in this case because it was a weekday, and no options for pass holders, so a little confusing. But we are at the trail here, and we're just going to kind of follow it through.
Hey, he's playing pickleball.
So Ninette's
him.
interpreting this one as a rat playing pickleball. There you go.
Yeah.
This area is the Pueblo Indians area. The Spaniards, when they came into the valley here, they were living in pueblos, and so they called them the Pueblo Indians. And in the Pueblo Indian language, there's no message or, you know, no word for artwork. So they figure these pieces of art are all individualized. They're right here on the mountain, and they figure that this is where all the spirits go in the valley. You know, as they die, they come up to this area of the cliffs. And so some of the thing is they speculate that they actually go through and you know, carve certain things that maybe meant something for that individual that passed on. So, but one of the guys on the video we were watching, he asked one of the tribal elders if they got close as to what's going on here, and he says you can say anything you want. He says you're not even close. So apparently we really don't know what half of this stuff is. So it's just kind of an individual interpretation. So Ninette says, I don't know, can you see? Oh yeah, a little girl.
A little girl got pigtails.
She's playing pickleball.
Here's
so
her,
you can
here's
tell
her other
that,
people right there with paddles.
Yeah, so you can tell that Ninette's got pickleball on the brain right now.
This is an animal right there. They're watching.
Yeah. So just looking at this rock, there's actually, we just keep looking around it, so it depends on how long you want to take to look at it. But you see one petroglyph over here. There's another petroglyph over here. There's one up here, the sun. There's like the two of them up there. So you can see there's a lot of them just in a small area. Fish dancing while the chief over here on the right is playing the drum in the middle. Is that it?
I don't see no chief, but
Oh, okay, not chief.
But it was nighttime because there's a star.
Oh, there's a star.
Maybe that was dinner.
Okay. Now the Pueblo Indians refer this as sacred area, and so this is how they get in touch with their ancestors. So you could just kind of imagine them coming up here and being up here for hours or days or whatever they choose, I guess. We are going up the side of the mountain here, and they have put steps every once in a while here to kind of help as we crawl up through these rocks. But it's a matter of just looking everywhere for little hidden drawings. So they do say, as you're visiting this area, to treat it with respect. Since they do kind of treat this as their spirit grounds for their ancestors. So it's interesting as some petroglyphs are pretty faint, and that could be that just over the years they just started wearing away, and others are a lot more pronounced as you walk through here. So you can see, I mean, sometimes it takes a little bit to make out a petroglyph based on, you know, how pronounced it is.
This one looks like.
So this is a big bird right in front of us here. Kind of hard to make out completely, but you can see the beak. They actually worshipped macaws. Is that what they called macaw?
Macaw. But this looks like
parrots.
a macaw's got this kind of a beak. This is a straight.
Oh, that's true.
And that's a. This looks like.
And then the rings that are going there, they put those rings in there based on, they said that it could be like the person's age, or, you know, how old they were, or lineage, you know, how long their line's been going, or something like that, their lineage. Ninette says this looks like a tribal chief with the feathers. I'm not really seeing it that much, but the actual tribal elders say that depending on the time of day, different petroglyphs present themselves differently, or you may not even see them. And also they believe that certain petroglyphs will show themselves to some people, but we will not show them to others. Well, so you have to use your imagination on a lot of this stuff.
That's the fun of it.
And that's why they say you can be 5 minutes or an hour. So if you really want to get into this, then use your imagination, and there's a lot of little things here that you can kind of imagine, and you can tell that today Ninette's mind is on pickleball.
No, there was 2 cheese. There was nothing pickleball, but pickleball players were down there.
Down there at the bottom.
They did have big hands. I mean, they look like paddles.
Yeah. So anyway, hopefully the wind hasn't been too hard on the audio here, but
it's a fun little hike.
It's a fun little hike, and it was just a fun area. As you look out here around the valley, you can see how all the housing here is encroaching upon this whole area, and the Indian tribe that kind of controls this and the whole community themselves started getting kind of worried, because they'd see people up here with heavy duty equipment and things, and hauling rocks away with all the petroglyphs on them and things, and so this,
you take one, put it in your yard, and be haunted for the rest of your life.
Yeah, so anyway, it hasn't been that many years ago. A monument was actually created to protect this area, so a lot of damage done before that time frame, but they did preserve a lot, and there's a lot that you can't actually see. The trails don't actually go to it, so they did protect a lot of it, because remember, there's thousands here, and in this particular case we're only looking at hundreds, and we didn't even see that many ourselves. But maybe we're not supposed to. We're not privileged. The ancient people don't want us to see those particular petroglyphs. So anyway, whatever you believe, however you look at it, it's a pretty fun little hike. It's another national monument. It's amazing how many of national parks and monuments there are around the United States. So it's kind of fun just to see these and see a little bit of history. So anyway, thanks for coming along. And other than the pickleball, was there anything that was special for you?
Nope, that was good.
Okay, well, thanks for coming along. We're just going to say goodbye for now, and hope to see you down the road somewhere. And this should be our last day in New Mexico, and so we will be moving on into Arizona.
And see more.
Yeah, so, but I think this is it for New Mexico. We're heading off into Arizona tomorrow, so we'll be moving on down the road. Maybe we'll see you, if not on our next video. So take care.